Gone every summer, man, for 6 years.
All right. I'd like to call to order the May 22nd, 2018 Board of Adjustments meeting. I'd like to start off with a roll call of members. Mr. Willie Robinson.
Present.
Ms. Heather Sharon.
Present.
Mr. Devin Graham.
Present.
Mr. Stephen Jofrion.
Present.
Mr. Eddie Crass.
Present.
I'm Brandon Bennett, Chairman, present, and Ms. Darla Harris is absent today. At this moment, or this time, I'd like to open it up for public comment period. Anybody here to speak about the public or about Board of Adjustments? Nobody signed up? Closing public comment period. Can I get an acceptance of minutes for the April 24th, 2018 meeting?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Stephen Jofrion.
Second.
Second by Ms. Heather Sharon. All in favor? Motion passes. Any acceptance of the written decisions for the April 24th, 2018 meeting?
Motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Stephen Jofrion.
Second.
Second by Ms. Heather Sharon. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. At this time, I'd like to open it up for zoning review ID PZ 1662.18 for Lot B3, B1B for Robert Ambo. It's located on the south side of Preston Landry Road, approximately 1,100 feet east of Roddy Road, to request the variance of the Ascension Parish Developmental Code 17-2073 site requirement, minimum lot and lot frontage restrictions for residential. Do we have anybody here to speak on the matter?
James Falgo, representing Earls and Associates, and Mr. Robert Ambo, asking the Commission for approval. We do have the road frontage on the right-of-way, but when you back up to the building line, since the property kind of goes in an angle, it's decreased it from the 100 foot. So we're asking for a variance of, I think it was about 5 feet total. I don't know how that number offhand. Basically, we're just separating, this little back piece of his property. And the owner to the west is actually the one who's going to be purchasing the property, but we can't attach it to his existing lot because he does have a mortgage on the property. So we're basically creating another lot.
Say that one more time.
He's got a mortgage on that piece of property.
Okay.
So
But he is planning to purchase it?
He is purchasing it, yes.
Okay, okay. So you're requesting, I think it was variance is 7.13 feet?
Yeah,
Okay,
just on the building line, yes, sir.
all right. And my one question for you was if the person to the left was purchasing it, you answered that already?
The west, yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody else have any more questions?
So basically, the way the ordinance reads now is it's the frontage at the building line,
Not at the
not
road.
the road frontage.
That's correct. Crazy.
Why is that exactly, Jerome?
I wish I could answer that question, but I can't because the ordinance was passed before I arrived. But typically speaking, we wanted to accommodate odd-shaped parcels that come into play, especially when you look at subdivisions where we have cul-de-sacs, and there's a very short frontage right at the bulb of the cul-de-sac, and then it breaks off as it gets in from a triangular shape. So as the house, we didn't want houses right at that front, so we wanted to have them backed up away from the curb, and that would accommodate that.
Gotcha, gotcha. So as of right now, it's just they're purchasing the land. Is there any plans for this land? It's just basically purchasing and wanting to subdivide it? Okay. Anybody else have any more questions?
No, sir.
All right. I'd like to open it up for public comment period. Closing public comment period. Do I have any more discussion, motions?
I'd like to make a motion to accept as written.
I have a motion to accept by Mr. Stephen Jofrion.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Devin Graham. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, do we have any old business? Any new business? We'd like to welcome Miss Jamaica. I think it's officially your first day, probably first meeting, sorry. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by Miss Heather Sharon,
Second.
second by Mr. Devin Graham. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.